Welcome back to Mass Effect. Now, last time when I finished off that part, I didn't realize that once you leave this planet, the storyline technically continues. So at this point, you've acquired data from Cerberus, which is probably valuable to certain people. So once I actually leave here and go onto the ship, I'm going to get a call about that. So let's just go directly to that and see who wants that information.
Transmission coming in, Commander. I think you're going to want to hear this one.
Greetings, Commander Shepard. I represent a party interested in obtaining information on Cerberus activities.
Who are you, and who do you represent?
Who I am is inconsequential. Suffice to say, I am an agent for the Shadow Broker. You see, Admiral Kahoku contacted my employer looking for information on the location of any Cerberus facilities. We provided that information on the promise that he would turn over copies of all files gathered from the Cerberus systems to us.
Which is a little fishy that Admiral Kahoku would go to the black market, essentially, to try to get information on the enemy. That he wouldn't be able to talk to his own alliance group as well as the Council. And the Cerberus group has shown itself as being a... when we go to Mass Effect 2 and we actually get to see Cerberus, they're very pro-human, anti-alien. So, I would imagine for more human concerns, the Council would be like, oh, that's a human thing. Whatever. We don't care. But because Cerberus is kind of like a human terrorist organization against aliens, it feels like that would be more of a reason for them to help
Did you have
Kahoku
anything
out.
to do with Admiral Kahoku ending up dead?
We had no reason to harm him. He was going to provide us with information about Cerberus. Information that is now in your possession.
You must have some connection to Cerberus. How else could you tell Kahoku where to find them?
Information is our business, Commander. Through our contacts, we were able to determine that the Cerberus group was active in the Voyager cluster. Unfortunately, that was all we were able to find out. That is why we are so interested in acquiring copies of the files from you.
Yeah, that doesn't really seem like very good direction. The Voyager cluster itself has its own set of stars and its own set of planets. That's not even saying that it's happening in the solar system. That's like saying it's happening in the local cluster. And then you're like, okay, what's beyond that? And then eventually you get oh, people are on Earth, but that's not exactly a good direction. And I agree, that would be treason.
Alliance files. I'm not handing them over to you.
Be reasonable, Commander. Cerberus was operating outside Alliance jurisdiction. You don't owe them any loyalty. The Alliance is just going to file this information away in some archive. No secret stays hidden forever. Eventually, someone somewhere will deliver it into our hands. Might as well be you. Transmit the files to us and you will be well compensated.
Except now they have to spend time and money working for it. And this is also assuming that the Alliance is just going to file it away. And I don't trust
My
them.
loyalty is to the Alliance, not the Shadow Broker.
Also, just because Cerberus was outside Alliance jurisdiction does not mean that I operate outside Alliance jurisdiction. Well, luckily, I will not need anything from them. Or at least I don't think you ever really need anything from the Shadow Broker. The Shadow Broker doesn't really become big until later on. And I don't really remember them being consequential to any plot point. You have choices you have to make, and their involvement affects those choices. I don't think that actually happens in any part of the story. Now, at this point, I have two choices. I can go to Virmire, or I can go to Noveria. Now, Virmire is a very big point for the storyline, so I'm going to save that for later. Virmire has a lot going on for it. With Noveria, that's basically just a confrontation against Matriarch Benezia, that being Liara Sony's mother. So for this mission, I'm definitely going to be taking Liara with me. As for who I would take with, I would probably want to take somebody who can compensate for her lack of technical fortitude. So, probably either Tally or...
Approach control, this is the SSV Normandy, requesting a vector and a berth.
Or Garrus.
Normandy, your arrival was not scheduled. Our defense grid is armed and tracking you. State your business.
Citadel business. We got a Council Spectre aboard.
Landing access granted, Normandy. Be advised, we will be confirming identification on arrival. If confirmation cannot be established, your vessel will be impounded.
What a fun bunch. I think I'll take my next leave here.
Only a Joker would take their shore leave on ice. I'll stop. No, I won't. I can't. So, Noveria is interesting in that, like, most of all other Citadel space is government-controlled by one government or not, whereas Noveria is controlled by, like, a loose collection of companies. Like, going through Noveria is closer to the video game Syndicate.
Interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Although I suppose since this is a third-person action game, this would make it closer to the first-person shooter of Syndicate, rather than the old-time strategy game, which I still haven't played through. I probably should at some point, because I hear it is very good.
That's far enough.
Something wrong, officer?
You better hope there isn't. This is an unscheduled arrival. I need your credentials.
You first.
We're the law here. Show some respect. I'm Captain Maiko Matsuo, Ilanis Risk Control Services.
All you need to know is I have more credentials than you.
They plan to be trouble, ma'am.
To this
I
planet
can't let you enter the port area
especially.
without confirmation of your identity. Sergeant Sterling, secure their weapons.
No.
It would not be wise to search for the Geth unarmed.
Nobody takes my weapon.
Charge and lock! We're authorized to use lethal force. You have to the count of 3 to surrender your weapons. 1, 2, 3.
Captain Matsuo, stand down! We confirmed their identity. Spectres are authorized to carry weapons here, Captain.
You may proceed, Spectre. I hope the rest of your visit will be less confrontational. Parasini-san will meet you upstairs. Behave yourself.
These people, they deserve no respect. Although, like, I guess this is different in regards to Syndicate, and isn't, like, everybody in the world of Syndicate is forced to live here. Whereas in this planet, they've kind of created this closed-off atmosphere that only exists for itself.
Get out of here.
But what if I want to talk to you?
I'll be keeping my eye on you.
Just one of the eyes, not both?
I'm sure Parasini-san will answer any questions you have.
So, I'm supposed to be investigating a very specific research place. But in order to get access to it, I believe I have to do a whole bunch of other quests. And I'm exaggerating, not a whole bunch of other quests. Just a couple of them. But that's the world that that's how Noveria works. Everybody does favors for each other. And only through the exchange of favors can you proceed.
I am Gianna Parasini, assistant to Administrator Ananias. We apologize for the incident in the docking bay.
I appreciate your help.
You're welcome. You understand our security chief was only doing her job. One of my duties is orientation of new arrivals. Do you have any questions?
Pretty heavy security for such a small port.
The executive board does everything in its power to protect the privacy of our client corporations.
Yeah, they had a whole 3 guys. Hopefully nobody shows up with 4.
I can't have my investigation hampered.
Tread lightly. The board can bury you in litigation. You'd need an Asari lawyer to see the case through.
Is that because the Asari are better lawyers, or because they live long enough to handle counsel arguments that go on forever?
Has anyone unusual passed through here recently?
Unusual? An Asari matriarch passed through a few days ago. Lady Benezia.
Benezia. She is here?
Passed through? Where is she now?
Benezia left for the Peak 15 research complex days ago. To the best of my knowledge, she's still there.
Thank you, Xbox Live, for notifying me of that message.
Could you tell me how to get there?
You'll need to ask Administrator Analeas for clearance to leave this port.
Where can I find the administrator?
His office is on the main level, left at the top of the elevator.
You need
Understood.
clearance to get
Go in
into
now?
the port, and you need clearance
If
to
you need any
leave
help,
the port.
You can ask me at the Administrator's office.
She is here. I can't believe it. I imagine you want to talk to me, Shepard. About my mother.
No, we don't. I trust you, Liara. You may not be military, but you're a part of my crew.
Thank you, Shepard. That means a great deal to me.
But now we can explore... Oh, no, we can go up an elevator. Then we can explore Noveria at large, which is not exactly that large, so to speak. It's just kind of like a small docking port. And then when we get to the research lab, that's when this planet kind of opens up a little bit. This is not meant to be a world where people would want to go outside of their own business. What does this businesswoman have to say for herself?
The managers warned us about you.
Full of rumors, no facts. Ah, merchant.
This one offers greetings. You are the Spectre that visits Port Hanshan.
News travels fast here.
Indeed, esteemed Spectre. Your arrival was not greeted with any joy by the companies here. This one has a burden that you could ease. If an arrangement could be made, it would compensate you. This one has procured a special item for a customer. The item is not permitted within the station, but you could bring it through customs.
You want me to use my status to smuggle for you?
That is not inaccurate.
Maybe later. Right now, I need supplies.
Of course. This one apologizes for inconveniencing you.
How can I help you?
I'd like to speak to Analeas.
One moment, please. Mr. Analeas?
Yes, what?
Commander Shepard is asking to see you, sir.
Right, fine, come in.
I'm guessing there are alternate passages that enabled her to get here faster than I did.
You will excuse me if I don't stand up. I have no time to entertain colonial rubes.
Rubes?
I see you looked up my service record.
Only a fool enters negotiation without knowledge of the other party's tendencies. This greeting is a courtesy. I will only cooperate as required by the Executive Board. Businesses come here to avoid the second guessing of galactic law.
Are you telling me you have no safety protocols?
Don't be ridiculous. Do you think a for-profit company would take no precautions against loss of life and material? Project leads have the final say here, not meddlesome politicians.
Opold wants me
I
to
will
smuggle
definitely
package
rat
through
him out.
security.
I need more than your word to act on that. Bring me whatever he's smuggling, and I'll act accordingly.
So you'll arrest him?
No one here is fond of trials. They make shareholders nervous.
They'll just banish
More
him.
likely, we would simply let him go. Of course, he would be blacklisted by the companies here.
I'll look into it and get back to you.
I appreciate your report.
I'm leaving.
Good. I received a dozen urgent messages while you dithered about.
Alright, let's go back to that Hanar. Get the item that he,
You've never worked in the corporate world, have you, Commander? You can't bludgeon through bureaucracy.
So it would seem. I need an alternative.
Talk to Lorik Keen. You should be able to find him at the hotel bar. Can't say more. Not within earshot of Mr. Analaeus.
Talk to you later.
Very well.
Now I believe this just gives me alternate paths. Like I can choose to go the Analaeus route, turn in the Hanar, and then get access to Peak 15. Or I can choose to go the what she just presented, and use that method. But I am going to...
Has the other reconsidered this one's plea for aid?
All right, I'll help.
This one humbly thanks the Spectre. The package will be delivered to your vessel. All you need do is bring it to this one. Please do not mention this to Administrator Analaeus. That one would levy fees. Is there anything else this one might help you with?
Could I buy something now?
And got the package. Now I just have to make my way back. I would imagine being a head of security for this planet to be relatively difficult, because you likely have limited access to what you can actually look at. It would be kind of like C-Sec in a way, in that you could easily get caught up in a whole bunch of red tape. The most you could really do is prevent things from coming in and prevent things from going out.
I presume you are here to present me with Opold's package.
Yes, I have it with me.
I am no weapons expert, but it seems to me that this is a rather advanced device. Certainly contraband. It would have been unfortunate if this had reached its buyer.
How thankful are you?
I am willing to give you 200 credits and a pass to leave Hanshan. Not without an understanding between us, of course. You can only go to Peak 15 to speak to Lady Benezia. If you cause trouble or if the staff asks you to leave, you will be thrown off-world.
Ah, and I actually have enough points in Charisma and Renegade abilities, or Paragon and Renegade abilities, to actually keep the upgrade for myself. But I'll be, I can be nice about it, I can be mean about it, but I'll still have the upgrade. It doesn't matter.
You know, that's a dangerous weapon. It shouldn't be left unsecured. I should impound it.
Of course. That makes perfect sense. I wouldn't know what to do with it anyway. It would be best if you kept it. If there is nothing else, I would like to go back to work.
I'm leaving.
Good. I received a dozen urgent messages while you dithered about.
This person gets a lot of messages during dithering.
Access to the garage is restricted.
I have authorization. Excuse me.
Yes, that's genuine. Drive safely. The weather's supposed to be pretty bad out in the Alutsk Valley.
Oh no, the Geth are here, like I was told. Actually...
Excuse me, I need a moment of your time. The male human at the hotel bar? He's a sales rep for Binary Helix. His name is Raphael Vargas.
I need you to speak with him.
Do you know who I am?
Everyone here knows who you are, Dullstone. That makes you ideal for my job.
Is that an insult in these quarters?
Quantity, or so Vargas will think. He will assume you are here to investigate his company's dirty laundry. That will distract him from my real intentions.
He's right there. Why not talk to him yourself?
I wish I could. I already bungled this myself. He realized I was not a real buyer.
I don't know anything about Binary Helix. What would I talk to Vargas about?
I represent the Aramali City Council on Thessia. Our town is known for its biotic amp crafters.
What is your city's interest in Binary Helix? They do not manufacture amps.
Much of BH's work relates to biotics. There are rumors that the Noveria branch has flown in Asari biotics. Powerful ones. Commandos, to be specific. We want to assess any potential risk to Asari copyrights. You will present yourself as a buyer, on behalf of the Spectres or the Alliance, discuss their military enhancement programs. Your real objective will be to distract him. I will give you a device that will crack into his personal wireless network. It will upload a variety of monitoring viruses. They will infiltrate Binary Helix when he logs onto their intranet.
What's in it for me?
Money, of course. I would be well paid for this. So would you. 500 credits.
Okay. 500 credits is nothing at this point. I think I've got like 700,000 credits. But I'll do it.
Interesting plan. I'm in.
Excellent. Here is the cracking device. You will know it is done when it beeps. I've assembled a dossier on Vargas. If you would like, I could brief you on his behavior patterns.
Tell me what you know about Vargas.
Because at least this mission seems interesting.
Those who waste his time.
And I'm not necessarily ruining anybody important.
He concluded I was not interested in his company's services. I noticed he has a tell. When a topic makes him nervous or uncomfortable, he has a tendency to rub the back of his neck. If you see that, press him on the subject. It may distract him enough to keep him talking.
I'll go see him now.
I hope to hear from you soon.
Can I help you?
Mr. Vargas, I'm Commander Shepard, a Spectre. I understand you work for Binary Helix.
That's correct. Rafael Vargas, sales. Were you interested in our services?
I might be. That depends on what sort of offer your company can make.
It was my understanding that the Citadel contracted to a Solarian corporation for its enhancement programs.
That's something that this game doesn't really go into. Like, who actually runs the Spectres? Like, what kind of... I'm not talking about oversight at this point. I'm talking about funding. Where does the funding directly come from? Like, somebody has to spend money on something. Like, I guess, Commander Shepard buys all of her own weapons, so there's no funding for that. But there's funding to create weapons specifically for Spectres that are sold at CSEC. How is it that the weapons that are sold at CSEC, especially the Spectre ones, if they're just sold there, how do they never actually get out in the open? I would imagine this universe, for all the crime that it has, it's a bit surprising that nobody tries to steal any of those weapons.
I'm sure you know that we pass a new budget every fiscal year. If it delivers a better soldier, contracts can change.
A sound business practice. Excuse my hesitation, I've never heard a government accused of good business sense. First, the boilerplate disclaimer. No genetic enhancement is guaranteed to take. We can maximize the odds, but every strand of DNA is unique. Our patented techniques can provide an 8% improvement in adrenal response, 12% faster clotting, and a measurable decrease in ZG muscle degeneracy.
Oh, so he does biotic improvements. He doesn't actually make weapons. Huh.
I've never heard of a technique that improves zero-gravity endurance.
It's a first for the industry. The advent of Element Zero-based artificial gravity made it a less pressing concern. We're still waiting for tests to give us an average improvement. We estimate a 7 to 11% decrease in muscle loss rates. I can get you those improvements for 30k credits per head. For a bulk order, I can work in a sensory enhancement package. Guaranteed 20/15 vision and hearing from 12 to 22,000 hertz.
Oh, my lack of renegade points has cut me off there.
How would you distribute the upgrades? Retroviral injections would take some time.
Well, it does take time to upgrade a body with adjusted DNA. Skin cells could be replaced in 2 weeks, but the liver takes over a year, and the skeleton a decade. For frontline units, we can speed the process with full system transfusions.
Wait, they're replacing people's skeletons?
It would still take 6 months to see results. I have to admit, it surprised me that you were here for business. There are many development projects on Noveria, some not entirely legal.
My charisma has dropped out. Also, though, why would they have to replace the entire skeleton? How would you even go? What does that even mean? Like, do the bones, like, get modified underneath the muscle and mass? Like, that's gotta feel horrible.
I wear a lot of hats, Mr. Vargas. Some days I shut down criminals, some days I defuse nukes, some days I like to enjoy private vices. You understand me?
I suppose. My apologies. Your manner is rather informal for a business meeting.
Sorry, Mr. Vargas. That's a call I have to take. Thank you for your time.
Of course, Commander Shepard.
Alright. Consider your stuff to be hacked.
Any results?
Your toy did its job.
Excellent. I will transfer 500 credits to your account.
Only 500. All right. I thought you might have wanted to provide more since you couldn't do it yourself, I mean.
Did I say 500 credits? I meant 750. Good day, Spectre.
Oh yeah, just rolling in the dough there. No, I have more. I have 7 million credits. I have 7 million credits, and this lady's trying to impress me with 500 credits. I am unimpressed.
Afternoon. Sit down, have a drink. What can I do for you?
Did you see an Asari matriarch recently?
Yes, she caused quite a stir. It's not every day a matriarch arrives with a guard detail of commandos.
Is it so unusual to see a matriarch?
They rarely venture beyond Asari space. To see such an esteemed figure is surprising. Lady Benezia was also dressed for her role. An Asari in a pinstriped suit set tongues wagging among the younger male employees, so to speak.
Young males have an unhealthy obsession with my species.
That's true in video game and real life.
Armed commandos were allowed on Noveria?
I don't know if they were disarmed. Of course, one can't confiscate biotic powers. Saren, and by extension, Benezia, is an important person. By that I mean an investor who might sell stock, if denied.
Do you know why Benezia is here?
She claimed to be Saren's assistant, here to get a certain project back on track. I suspect she meant Peak 15.
I have a different question.
Humans are full of questions. I should write a book about it while I have the time to spare.
I guess I have no
I
other
should
questions.
Let me go. Do humans consider conversation a form of imprisonment? That would explain why so few are willing to sit and talk.
Conversation can be a form of imprisonment.
What did you do here, Commander?
The Geth ambushed us. We fought back. That's it.
Geth, you expect me to... Where did they come from?
If I were to guess, the matriarch packed them in the shipping container she arrived with.
I don't believe that. We did thorough scans of those. There were no power sources, no element zero masses. If Benezia-sama's containers were packed with these things, there are many more out there.
I need numbers, Captain. A dozen? 100?
Dozens, at least. They're machines. You could pack them tightly.
You could fold them over each
I must report to the
other.
executive board. If word gets out about loose geth, there may be an investor panic.
You can rub them against each other without them feeling uncomfortable. It's too bad I can't drive this truck. Because it looks like at some point in time, like they were planning to have this this vehicle drivable, because it does have a vehicle icon associated with it on the minimap. But they just never got around to it, so they just tossed in a Mako just right there. Like, why is the Mako prepared all the way over there when you got this other vehicle on the other side? The heavy turret, easily dodgeable by moving very, very slightly. And now the trouble with driving the Mako is if you're on a hill, it's hard to aim down. Yeah. And back. Excellent. Now there are guys to the left and right. Okay, probably circle around to the right and then back to the left. Okay. There's no multiple paths just yet. Oh, and now it's snowing again. Or maybe the snow's just easier to see when a vehicle's not moving. And another, oh, I got another one of these cars. Now, the guy, like, there are two types of shots that they kind of fire. There's the rockets, which you can dodge, the bullets you can't. But fighting in the Mako is more of a battle of attrition. Like, you can't really speed up the pace in which your shield regenerates. So if you just kind of charge at it without kind of like stopping, your enemies will just kind of slowly peck your shield down. Now in theory, now I could always kind of stop here and sit for like probably 4 or 5 minutes and wait for that shield to fill itself back up. But that's kind of boring, so I'm just going to keep on going. Although I'm sure once it gets to the point where the vehicle actually starts to get damaged, then I'm definitely going to worry about waiting around for my shield to regenerate. Now there's a cannon on that side. I wonder if I can destroy it from here. I can! I definitely couldn't hit it with the machine gun. But... oh. At the very least I can hit it with my turret. From that distance. But as is, like, these sequences aren't really particularly challenging or interesting. Like, the first time you were on a Mako, that made more sense because, in a story mission, because first you're kind of seeing the power of the Mako while driving around in comparison to you on foot. You fought the Geth armature while in the vehicle, and then you fought it on foot. So there was more of a comparison between those two methods of fighting. But here it's just drive forward, blow up thing. There's no real obstacles holding me back until I get to my destination and I have to leave. In which case, there seems like there are bad guys right in the door. There we go. Oh my god. Okay, I tried out the Inferno rounds with the pistol. Just to, like, because it says it's going to increase your damage by like 500%. But it increases weapon heat by 200%. So while using that upgrade, that causes my pistol to overheat in only 2 shots, which is extremely useless. Yep. And let's... Nope. Let's... Armage.
User alert. All Peak 15 facilities have suffered a great deal of damage. Biohazard materials present throughout facility. Virtual intelligence user interface offline.
We'll need to get the reactors back online.
And I suppose that's going to be what I'm going to have to figure out doing next time. With any luck, I'll get the reactors online, get the virtual intelligence accessed, and confront Lady Benezia. Thank you for watching. If you've still got the itch for more content, why not give one of those links a try? Got some questions or comments? You can comment down below or send it on over to itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. That's itsoundedgoodonpaper@gmail.com. In the meantime, so long, folks.